talking with Millikin head wrestling coach Ryan Birt. 5 years ago today was the first wrestling match for Millikin in the relaunch of Millikin Wrestling, November 3rd, 2015. In 5 years, you've come quite a ways. So in 5 years, this program has won a CCIW title, come in second twice. You've had 11 CCIW champions. You've had 14 NCAA qualifiers and 12 NCAA All-Americans. Did you honestly think that in 5 years, starting from nothing, you didn't even have a room to wrestle in, that you could reach this point?
I think when you're driven and your mind is set for excellence, you believe that anything's possible. You know, we thought we could be the first team to win a national championship in its first year of its creation. You know, when you say all those numbers, not taking anything for granted, that's awesome. I mean, to take a step back and hear that and listen to that, that's a ton of hard work from a lot of people, and it is hard to believe that we have come out that strong and we've jumped. The competitor in me, the driven person in me says, man, we've missed some opportunities, huh? Finishing twice second, why not first? You know, what about the other 2 years? We don't have any national champs yet. 11. There's 10 conference champions a year. That's 5 years. That's 50, and we only own 11 of them. So I'm excited about where we've gone. The facility we have is second to none at the Division III level, and even for some D2, D1 programs. So not taking anything for granted, not diminishing that in any way. I guess we just want to keep the pedal down and keep moving forward.
You know, that's a pretty, I know you say that you've missed opportunities, but really if you look at in the reality of a startup program in any sport, much less something like wrestling, where we didn't even have a room to wrestle, we had no mats, we had nothing. But still, you've got to feel pretty good about where you've come.
Absolutely. I'm not going to, like I said, I won't take for granted the long hours when we were getting this thing started, and Coach Eric Hansen, and I, who had big dreams, and we grinded. Eric has now moved on. He's a police officer. I appreciate his service, and be safe. And now we've graduated to getting our first assistant with Chris, who's had the best career ever for Millikin history to this point. And then, our man Jason Eckenrod, J-Bone, who's been with us from the start. It's been a group of just guys with passion who wanted to see greatness, and I think it goes across the board that, yeah, even though you get excited for all the successes, you just don't ever want to be satisfied.
You mentioned Chris Williams, the most successful wrestler you had in the program, and I know one of your mottos, or the stakeholder point for the program, is live a championship lifestyle.
Absolutely.
One thing that you've done that kind of transcends sports, but obviously wrestling's been a big part of it, but you've taken a guy like Chris Williams, who wasn't necessarily in a great place in his life at the time. Then he was out of college, not active, and you've taken him and you made him not only a great wrestler, right, but you made him now a productive member of society.
Oh, he's great.
He's a great coach. He's a father. He's a great husband. And I know that's one of the things you're probably most proud about this program,
absolutely.
is talk a little bit about all the guys who you kind of helped change their life. You've taken some guys from not good situations necessarily and made them good.
Well,
put them in a good spot.
Again, you get that in your heart from how you were raised, and I look in the mirror every day and I see that person that had a coach that took them from nothing to something, and not in the sport but in life. But yeah, Chris, great. He's phenomenal on the mat. We already knew he didn't come from a great situation. Almost lost him. The story. If anybody ever wants to hear the story, I can take about 20 minutes and tell the whole thing. It's an amazing story, and where he's come, and watch him interact with his kids on Halloween the other day, and just, it's really cool to see, because what we tell these people when we get here, you're going to be husbands and fathers. you're going to be. That's reality. The education is so important because you want a beautiful wife, you want healthy children. You got to have that degree to get that career so you can support that. But most importantly, you're going to be husbands and fathers. This is a sport we want to do, but we want to do it at the highest level. And that's kind of our engine to get us to being the education, get us to help develop these young people when they come in as freshmen, whether they're 23 years old when they get here as freshmen or sophomores, or they're typical 18, 19-year-old freshmen when they get here. That's the plan. And sometimes it's got to be a lot of tough love. There's a foot in the ass every once in a while, but there's a lot of hugs and, a lot of standing behind them. So, I think that's one of the things that keeps us going here. I think that living a championship lifestyle for us doesn't necessarily have all the accolades that we want, but we're not going to change who we are as people or how we coach. We want greatness for our kids to grow up and be great men and great husbands, great fathers, but we do want to win on the mat as well.
So I know this year's a little weird, and we don't know what the season's going to hold.
Yeah.
But you've had a pretty remarkable, in my opinion, 5 years. Where do you see the program in another 5 years? What are we going to be talking about on the 10th anniversary of return to competition?
5 straight NCAA championships, 50 conference individual champions, 5 more conference tournament champions. I think that's what we're shooting for, right? You get 10 guys to compete, we want all 10 to win. And we're going to continue to move forward. Most importantly, we want these guys to graduate. We want them to continue to move on. Now that the program is there, and a couple of the wrestlers that have gone now are starting to get engaged, and there's going to be weddings. So I hope within the next 5 years, I've been to 10 or 12 weddings as well, and help honor and watch, so much as they grow, even though they've lost their eligibility. So just watch them turn into men and continue to build this. I'd love to knock down a couple walls and make this place bigger. We're running out of space, but it'd be the same if it was smaller or bigger. We always want more, and that's what I see in 5 years, growth.